Thank you for tuning in. We are Tristan and Michael, and you are listening to Fuse, Transparent Conversations for Marriage, Family, and Relationships. We invite you to join us as we discuss topics that are thought about but not talked about. So tell your friends and family to check us out. Also, listen to us on WKCJ with Ron Heitch, Monday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Connect with us on social media and join the conversation by emailing us at info@fusemarriages.com. All right, Michael, what are we jumping into today?
Well, before we jump into it, I just want to say you're looking fly today.
Well, thank you, man.
You got the fatigues on. You know what? Like, I'm ready to go to war, though.
Come on. Let's go to war together.
Let's go to war together. We're on the same team on this thing.
Same team.
You know what? Let's go do it.
Yes, thank you. You look really nice, too.
Appreciate it. You put it together, so you know what I mean?
Yeah. You have to tell them all that. You're like, oh, yeah, thank you.
I got to give credit where credit's due, you know what I mean? Sometimes, hey, try to make your boy look all right.
You got it.
I got it.
Got it.
You got me. That's what you got.
It's a love fest over here, y'all.
That's what we got.
We like and love each other.
Tell it. Got to, though.
Yeah.
But today we are talking about something, the term, it comes from really a business term, be honest with you.
Okay.
And it's called, the term is operational definition.
Operational definition. Okay.
And in the business world, it's like, you know what, if I go do business with one company, let's say Microsoft, and then Microsoft do business with Google, some of the terminology they use got to be synced up, right? Would say, okay, we got to have operational definition. What do you mean by good quality?
Okay.
What do you mean by, you know what, our finances are tied to manufacturing?
So you want to be able to have a conversation where you're both talking about the same thing in the same way.
There you go. The same thing in the same way. That's the key right there. Because like I can talk about something, but be in a totally different way. Mm-hmm. And then like we can miss each other.
Yeah.
Really unintentionally miss each other. Mm-hmm. And we can go like spend weeks, months, years, even and like miss each other. Mm-hmm. How many relationships have missed each other just because of operational definitions?
Operational definition. Okay.
And it's like, you know what, we already, you know, different as between men and women, right?
Right.
So that's like gender, right? That's kind of the first, like, man, okay, hold on. I see differently, right? You know what? I want a good home. Okay, what that mean, right? Or I want a good job. Or, you know what, I want a good relationship. These all these terms are really like, okay, I know what that means for me. And I say, I'm really, what I do is when I hear you say I want something, or this is what I like, and I take it and put it in my perspective, saying, oh, okay, that's what she mean.
Wow.
Versus asking, what's your operational definition of that? Y'all gonna start using that.
Yeah.
What's your
operational definition?
Yeah, explain that, please. They're gonna be like, hold on.
That's a good thing to have in premarital counseling before you get married, so that you know, like, okay, what do you mean by the things that you say? Because I think a lot of people say, well, we went through premarital counseling. I don't know why we're having these problems. Or even we went through postmarital. Like once we got married, we've been going through counseling, but it's because you're not hearing and communicating the same thing. Yeah,
I call it premarital, postmarital, any marital, any relationship. It's like, right, because it's like, you think if you know what the definition is to start off with, people kind of change and mold and like build something different in their mind, how they see the world and see life. Mm-hmm. So you got to ask about, okay, just make sure, okay, hold on, you seem like you may be shifting. Help me understand, what do you mean, you know, when you say a few things.
Ooh-wee, let's dig into this. Okay, so I'm going to give you some phrases or some terms, and you kind of take me through the operational definition of what that could, how that could apply.
We have a discussion about it. Let's do it.
So let's first start with one that I think a lot of us have missed the mark. Time.
Yeah.
The operational definition of time.
Yeah, and I think, okay, we're going to talk, I'll talk about my perspective of what it could mean. I'm going to take the male point of view, how we talk about it.
Right.
You take the female point of view, okay?
And this is generalization.
This is very general. It's going to be, right, exactly. So when I say time, you know what I mean? I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Hey, I want to spend some time with you. And my time is going to be like, you know, hey, I want to meet my family, you know, having a barbecue and a cookout. You know what? We're going to go to this basketball game. We're going to go watch that. You know what? We're going to chill at the house and maybe just watch a movie. You know, we're going to spend this time together. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, me and my boys, they having a little cookout, you know what I mean, for the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We're going to spend time together. You know, just me and you. The boys gonna be there too, but just it's me and you though. We riding together.
That is not how I define it.
Okay.
So I'm thinking when you say we're gonna spend some time together, that means we're gonna be sitting and talking and having some in-depth looks at our dreams and our goals. And I think that that's so we've talked about the love languages before, but quality time versus quantity time, or what happens within those two times. Because even if you say quality time, Michael's quality time is us sitting down and watching, a Longhorn game. Man. Like, he's like, man, me and my girl
all day.
We over here chilling.
Hold on. They might not. Some people, we got some international people. They may see that. They may think it's something. This is actually the Longhorn mascot sign for the University of Texas. Just making sure, we not.
So there's no, and those of you that know,
Yeah. Okay,
Okay. I'm gonna just put that there. You know what it is. Yeah. So for him, watching a Longhorn game is we having a good time. We don't have to talk. I talk sports, so we'll just be talking sports to each other. And to him, man, my baby and I, we had a great afternoon. We spent 4 hours watching a Longhorn game. Right. For me, that is not quality time. That's time well spent. I enjoy it. He enjoys it. We have a good time, but that's not quality time. Quality time is there for me. There's no TV on. There's no music playing. We are just literally sitting here looking at each other and talking. See?
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Minimize my quality time. He likes it.
Don't
let him play it. I like it. He likes it. So for us, understanding time and how each of us needs time and what each of us means by time, because it might be like I like to go and he'll go hang out with the guys and play basketball, and he's like, man, we had a great time. They talked 5 minutes of the whole time, like, hey, how the kids, how the wife? Okay, cool. And he feels like, man, we really connected. And I'm like, but y'all didn't talk. Y'all spent 3 hours playing basketball and 10 minutes catching up. He's like, no, but we building. We building a relationship. And I'm like, on what? On basketball. But to me, that's different, because when I get with my girlfriends, we might be at, somebody's house snacking and watching movies and laughing and talking and eating. And oh my gosh, we talked about so much, because when I'm in the kitchen and I'm cooking and they're in, we all together, we're talking about stuff. So time has a different definition depending on who your spouse or who your partner is. So making sure that we're working from an operational definition, because we see it from our own perspective.
That's it. I got another example about time that we've actually dealt with. Right. Okay. And this is like, this is key, right? So we having a discussion. We call that like when it's a discussion though. We call it discussion. Maybe one-sided, right? What'd you say?
An elevated discussion.
Elevated discussion. And I'm like, I need time to think. Oof. Right? And this is like, okay, time to think. She's like, okay, cool, Michael, I give you time to think. But my time to think, I need to like go outside, maybe go to work, maybe come back next week and let's talk about it.
No, sir.
That's my operational definition of time. I got to decompress everything that's happening, that's going through, and I need some time. And she agreed to it, but hold on, why come you ain't brought it back up? Hey, I'm still on my time. What you talking about?
Yeah, no, that doesn't work. Because my time is like, we work this thing out while we're talking. So what kind of time do you need? Like, why you got to go outside? Why you have to walk around? What you doing? Like, how much time? Man, I need an hour. You need an hour? Like, that's a short amount of time for him. For me, that's like a whole hour. We could have been done with this whole conversation, because this is where our discussions happen. I am the one who likes to hurry up and have the argument, and get over it and be at peace.
I need a week. That's what I started off at. Be honest with you, when we first got married, I need this a week. Come on, I need a week. Come on, baby. What's the problem?
But during that week, he wants to act like there's nothing wrong. Like, he's like, okay, we cool. He wants to still sit down, watch movies, eat, have a conversation.
Make you breakfast, everything. What do you need? All right, we good, right? She like, whatever.
No, I don't want to eat with you. I don't want to look at you. Like, we are not good. You're taking way too much time. Right. So we had to kind of come to a consensus. And these are important, because then you can have conversations like, okay, what do you mean by that? Well, what are you doing during that? Because you don't look like you're thinking about it. Because he'll walk around, like I said, just being him. But he really is processing, okay, what is she talking about? Why did she say that? And for me, I'm like fuming. I can't take that much time. Yeah. So having how much time, so that when you are having a conversation, now we have to do, okay, how much time do you need? Right. It can't be a week. It can't be 10 minutes. How much time do you need? We got to find something. Let's talk about it tonight. Or you know what? Let's sleep on this and talk about it tomorrow. And by sleep on it, we're not angry. We just gonna lay down. Right. We're just gonna go to sleep, and we're gonna have a real conversation about this. So having that is really, really important.
Yeah, I mean that's a significant real life operational definition that what we missed each other on, right? And we had to come to some kind of consensus of really okay, what do you mean by you need time, and I for myself and for yourself. Because we just automatically assume, okay, you know what, she good with my week, and you automatically assume, okay, he only needs 5 minutes or so, and it caused a little friction, right, at first for us. So we had to get that straight.
You can have more conflict on top of the conflict
Right.
because you're having an area that you need to address, but now you're having an argument about not addressing that area in the same amount of time. So that's a really big one because I think a lot of people really have to understand what the other partner needs, and how can we help each other so we can both get there. Okay, here's another one. Love.
Man, when I hear about love, because I saw your notes beforehand, so my mind started going there already. To be honest with you, I saw it. So like, you know what came to mind when I saw it?
What?
LL Cool J.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He said, when I'm alone in my room, sometimes I stare at the wall, and in the back of my mind, I hear my conscience call telling me, okay, the name of the song is I Need Love.
I know the song.
Okay. This case, the people didn't know, though. They may want to go
y'all don't
Spotify that or look that up after they
up
watch our
LL Cool
podcast.
J.
Look up LL Cool J.
What year, babe?
Ooh, I'm going to say, you can put me on the spot. I think it's 86, 87. Y'all check me on that if I'm right or wrong, but I think I ain't. I'm just.
Let us know. Be like, nah, Michael.
Yeah, I think I'm close, though. I'm close.
I know you are, babe.
But
love, because you know what I thought about? Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, best love album of life.
Yeah.
Y'all don't have to agree because I'm where I am. That's what I like.
Right. And like, if you can take those two artists of like what he talks about love and what she talks about love, it's really two different types of love. Both love for them, but it's two different types of love.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what I mean? For as a man, I'm like, okay, so you know, I need love. But my love may be actually the operational definition of maybe like I need support. I need you to have my back. I need you to have me when I'm down and when I'm up. Don't look at me. You know what I mean? If I'm up and you ain't and you there when I'm down, you ain't there. You ain't no love to me.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So like that love looks different. I bet you from a woman's standpoint, say she need love, it's probably gonna be different. I mean, give me perspective on a woman, maybe what they be thinking when they say they need love.
Yeah, I think what you said also relates to women for support, but there's also kind of a different level of depth. Not to say that men are not that, but we're looking, hey, support, not just external. Like I've heard before, like men be like, what more do you want? I pay the bills. I do this. I do this. I do this. It's like, I want a lot more than, the bills, because I could do that myself. Like that's not, I think a lot of us are kind of, as we're brought up, depending on what your upbringing was. Like I wasn't raised thinking like I couldn't do it myself. Like that's not why I got married. And I know there are some women like that because there might be a societal thought that like, okay, he does this and she does this, versus like, okay, how do we intermingle this thing? How do we mix this thing up? And so for me, and you might relate, let us know, hit us up, info@fusedmarriages.com or any of our social media platforms. Let us know how you do. But for me, I'm looking for love in an emotional support way. Like, hey, I want to be able to tell you my thoughts and tell you my dreams. And when I'm like, when you said, when I'm down, I need, hey, come on, babe, we got this. That's where I need it. I don't need you to necessarily, I still like it when you pay the light bills, please pay the bills. That's great. But I want support. Hey, I have this dream. I have this thing I want to accomplish. And I know that's the same with men. It might take you a little bit longer to get get to that point of sharing that. But fellas have, and ladies, I'm just saying this, dudes have things that they think about, that they want. Now they're often taught to be more practical. Often, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they're often taught, hey, you got to take care of this. You dream later. And it's not to say fellas don't take care of responsibilities or ladies don't support him, but finding something like, okay, this is what you want to accomplish and this is what we need to happen. How can we bring those two worlds so that both are covered, so that both partners are allowed to dream? Maybe it's not us accomplishing everything at one time. Maybe it's you first and me next. I read Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, and one of the things that she talks about in there is finding that balance when her husband was running for office, both in the Senate and running for presidential office, and then trying to find her place in that. Because it's like, okay, at first when they got together, she was in a more quote unquote powerful position. She was the boss, so to speak. Right. So then making those switches, and it can be like ebb and flow, one and then the other, and one and then the other. So I bring that up to say that love is support for both, but it's in what area? In what area do you need support? Do you need physical or fiscal support? Do you need emotional support? And at different times you need different things. Like when I had Our kids, there were certain things I just was not able to do. You know, I just did not have the energy to do it. And somebody out there, I have a girlfriend that had a kid, and she pumps, and her husband gets up at night to feed, because he that's what he does. Hey, she needs to sleep. She's doing this all day. I can do this at night. So they switch roles in that way. So I just want to bring that up, because if that were not the case, I wonder if she would feel loved. I wonder if she also has to do everything that she was doing before and now do this. That's not, is that real love? Is that real partnership? I want to bring this up too while we're talking about love.
Yeah.
I want to hear from your man perspective. One of the things that the conversations that I've had is love when a partner is down. You really brought that up. Love when somebody is dealing with depression or dealing with a loss of a family member, or what does that look like? Because some people would say, well, I'm doing the same things that I was doing before this traumatic event, and that's love. Hey, it was fine before. What happened? You know, we were happy before. What's going on now after something has happened, if there's been a schism or something in somebody's life? So talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think love looks different, right? Whenever people go into different situations, and like life will throw you some curveballs, and like you can't expect to do the same thing that you did before when they're going through a crisis. And it's like you got to make the conscious decision and choice to say, you know what, hold on, my spouse needs a little bit more, or my partner needs a little bit more than what I've been giving them. And like it's more sacrifice that's required. Yeah. But I know one thing that's in addition to what you're asking is that from a man's perspective, one of the worst things you can do, and I'm going to the deep end of the pool real quick, just for a second. I hope you can swim.
Come on now.
Yeah, because I'm going to go to deep.
I can swim. But if you can't, you know.
I'm going to go to the deep end of the pool just for a second here. Maybe stay there, maybe not, whatever. But one of the things the worst thing you do for a man is like reject his love, right? And like what I mean by that, to reject his love, is like what I give you, don't say it's not worth anything.
Okay, talk through that some more.
Okay, so let me try to unpack that a little bit. So like what if I'm giving you, you know what? Because I seen a lot of women do this. That's one of the reasons I'm bringing it up.
Okay, we listening.
Yeah, I seen a lot of women do this. You know what? A man be like, you know what? I'm working 50 hours a week. You know, I'm trying to make sure the lights are staying on. You know, make sure these kids can go to these schools, this, that, and the other. Make sure you got a car. And women like, I don't want all that. Hold on. You rejecting my love. Now, that's how I'm showing you love. And you can reject that. That's like, man, you basically saying you don't love me.
Wow. And that's interesting, because even when you say that, I don't think that that's what women mean when they say that. I think that they're saying, I want something internal, versus, because everything you just named was external, was physical. Like, hey, I'm providing is what you're saying. Hey, I'm providing. I'm trying to give you this life that I think that you deserve. And she's saying no, but she's not saying no to you. That's where this operational definition comes in. She's not saying no to you. She's saying, I want something else. I want something deeper for me. Even though you as in men might think, man, this is me. So how do we have that conversation?
Yeah, I mean,
how do men need to hear, really? Because at that point, y'all are turned off. Like we've rejected what you are giving us. Right. How do we have a conversation saying, I just want your heart. I want you to think with me.
I think just me as a man, how I would like to hear it, and maybe some other guys have some other input, and they can definitely, drop a comment on social media, drop a comment on our YouTube page. It's like, the first step is like, man, just don't reject what I'm giving. I understand you may want more, but when you start rejecting what I'm giving, like saying like, no, I don't want that. That ain't really what I want. Like, that's good and all, but that's like, hold on. But like, this is me. I'm pouring out my blood, sweat, and tears, my time, right? Because I can't get that back just so that you can have more, right? Yeah. And when somebody, your woman rejects that, it's like, man, hold on. Yeah. I'm sacrificing. Like, man, you think I just want to go out here and listen to the man tell me what I need to be doing, not doing, and deal with the world in that way? No, I'm doing it for us, for you. Now, I have no problem. I personally have no problem. Hopefully most men have no problem saying, okay, you know what, baby, I love that. That's cool. But like, man, can we just kind of like figure out, I want this other piece of love that I know that's deep inside of you. And you know what, I want you to nurture that and kind of grow. You know what I mean? Like, so he like, okay,
so you're
baby, I got you.
building him up while also receiving what he's offering. So it's that I appreciate all of those things. Right. I really just want to feel more connected. I really want us to talk more. I really want to hear you more, hear your heart. Another thing that we've talked about as we, discuss love is rejecting not just the physical things that they provide, but when they open up and rejecting that, like they tell you, you know, their dream, or they tell you the thing that they want to accomplish, and it's like you minimize that,
right?
That they feel like immediately they're going to close down, but that lack of, hey, I don't have her support, which was the first thing that you said. She doesn't support my goal. She doesn't support my dream, and that's like even almost, I would almost say like a deeper wound, because men take so long in general to open up that when they do, you don't have but one good time to kind of hurt them in their core. You know, like the physical things, man, you're rejecting my love, but when you open up and then you reject that too, that's like, that's brutal. And at that point, and if you have done that in your marriage or in your relationship, not only does it merit like a sincere apology, but there might be some recovery that has to go through there, because it's like, what's that? Is it Venus flytrap?
Yeah.
Like close right back up, clam right back up. So because it takes so long for you guys to open up in that way too. So I want to bring up another one.
Just real quick though, before you bring up that second one, it's like, you know what you saying, like men, you know, I think men are more sensitive than women.
I concur.
Yeah. It's just that we respond different.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
So like in our sensitivity as a man, you know what I mean, we may not respond with words, but we're going to respond with our actions. Mm-hmm. So you just like, okay, like, man, he just
acting different.
Or he over here, you know what? He working more hours. Mm-mm. Like I wasn't expecting that response. He didn't talk about it. He didn't kind of bring it to me. He just started doing something different. He didn't picked up some other hobbies. Mm-hmm. Hopefully that's a good hobby.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Mm-hmm. Because he hurt. He's sensitive to the point where, you know what? No, you didn't hurt him on the inside, and he don't know how to like show that to you, because you already didn't judge him on rejecting his love. So now he gonna show you another side of him of sensitivity. You best believe not.
Yeah, even if
ain't
you're
happening.
Married.
Oh, best believe if you are married, it's probably the worst time, because like he like because he know you.
Wow.
He know your words mean something to him, and like he knows that you thought about what you said before you said it. Mm-hmm. So now he like I'm not okay. She like that, cool. I still love her, but I'm good. As my boy said, we heard it last year. The love, I got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. Mm-hmm. And walk away from it. You got it. Mm-hmm. So that's something like men, we got to understand about ourselves, and like women got to understand about us, right? It's saying, okay, you know what? We are sensitive. We ain't gonna never admit that to nobody. No, I'm sensitive. What?
He called all
I'm
y'all
a
out.
man.
Yeah.
Would never make. I'm probably getting in trouble from saying it on here. Yeah. Because we ain't supposed to y'all ain't supposed to know that.
Yeah. That's but like we've talked about that toxic masculinity on another show. But what you're saying is just so the way that we live it out is. You know.
But I wouldn't call it toxic though.
Oh.
Because no, I'm gonna tell you why. Relationally, it is toxic. Mm-hmm. But worldly, it's needed, right? How do we go out and fight wars, right? For you. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You can't be sensitive in fighting wars. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? They conflict with each other, right? And you can't go out and like try to do everything you're trying to do for your family, for yourself, and have some kind of like sensitivity that's being shown.
Wearing your feelings on your sleeve.
Right.
You can't take that.
Right. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna give you an example. I was watching ESPN clip. And Terrell Owens, right?
Yeah.
To me, one of the greatest wide receivers ever to play the game. Amazing athlete. He's 46 years old. He was talking about running a 4.4. That's the clip I saw on ESPN. Mm-hmm. People don't know what a 4.4 and a 40 is. It's super fast. And at 46, he's doing what 20-year-olds do, 18-year-olds do, trying to get into the NFL. But one of the main reasons I think why he didn't really get to the level that he could have, he had that chip on his shoulder. He showed his sensitivity so much, and it's just really raw passion and really love for really what he's trying to do. But people, men in this case, he's all playing men in football, they took it like, oh man, he tripping, because we don't show that. But he was really just showing his passion about, hey, give me the ball. I'm trying to win. I want to do this, that, and the other. But people, us as men, we looked at him like, man, God, he doing too much from our standard. If it was women that were kind of integrated, like, oh, okay, that's what we're talking about. We need that. Y'all show that. Hold on. He's just trying to express himself.
Yeah.
And the world doesn't look at it like that.
That you know how to behave in different circumstances.
Knowing how to behave, but like you said, I mean, I bring it to the point, you said it was toxic. It's only toxic when it's relational, when you're talking about a husband and wife. Interpersonal. But like when you're talking about like, hey, we trying to go do something in the worldly standard. So we got to switch. We got to have a switch. Okay, I'm in the world. I got to be this way. When I'm at home, I got to be another way.
But at somewhere, you have to be safe. Like, and that's one of the things that we've talked about is building male relationships where you're safe with each other, where you can talk about like, man, marriage is hard, or man, raising children is hard, or this is the effects of me not having a father. It's playing out. Having a safe place, because I do not see enough places where men have safe places, and that's one of the reasons we started this show, is to have a safe place to talk about some of these challenging conversations, these challenging topics, whether it's divorce or blended families or having emotional dysfunction or whatever it is. Having a safe place to talk about it, because if you don't talk about it, it does lead to toxic masculinity. When it's it's taught now, okay, boys don't cry, boys don't do this, or girls do this, be this. That becomes a toxic conversation and a toxic relationship. So one of the other ones I want to jump in as we kind of talk about this is family. The operational definition of family.
Yeah, so I mean, to me, this is more like, hey, everybody talks about, hey, you know what? I want to spend time with my family. Some people, that means like, okay, you know what? Once a quarter, right? Every 3 or 4 months, just may go see mom and daddy, may see a few cousins. Some people want to spend time with my family, like, you know what? On the weekend, we playing dominoes, barbecuing, at least once or twice a week. And like, that could be problematic. Depends on where you come from, of like not understanding what the operational definition means. Of like saying, okay, I love my family. Okay, cool. No wrong. That's hit the term. Okay, cool. No. I mean, mama got like this event at her work, and I'm going to go support her, and she live 4 hours away, and we got to get in the car and let's go.
We having family chats every night, catching up.
Right. So like, you got to understand it, which is nothing wrong with that if you understand it. But I think people get in situations where like, okay, hold on, I didn't know they was like a mama's boy like that.
And even understanding not just the operational definition of family, but what that means. Like you talked about in the beginning of the show, okay, let's make sure we're talking about the same thing in the same way. So what does that look like when I'm talking about manufacturing this piece of clothing, so that I know it's not just 2 stitches that's going to hold this together. It's going to be 30 stitches. And the same in the family. Okay, when you say you want a good family, are we talking about, the Huxtables, or are we talking about, what family, the Jeffersons? What are we talking about when you're talking about a good family? Because we all come into this thing with a different perspective on what a good family is. Are we taking family vacations? We do stuff every weekend, or is a good family just making sure, everybody's safe? Is that having a good family? When you say that you want to be married and you want to be a husband, okay, let's make sure we have the same definition of what I'm thinking that means for you as a husband or me as a wife. So that we can be clear. Like, okay, I'm thinking I want my wife to cook 3 meals a day. I want her to pack my lunch, do the laundry, make up the beds, clean the house, and then I want to have sex every other day. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. And I'm thinking, okay, being a good wife is, hey, when you come home, there's food in the refrigerator, and we hire somebody to come clean up because I'm not cleaning up after you. And, maybe once every 2 weeks we having sex. How about that?
Operational definition.
You got to know. You've got to know what that means in family. And what that means for family. Okay, I want to do one more. Yeah. One more. Need versus want.
Need versus want. It's like, man, we got to understand like what the difference is, right? First of all, what do I need? First of all, forget about what you're talking about. I understand you because you're going to explain that to me. But like, what do I need and what do I want? Like, I want to watch basketball. When basketball season is played during the NBA finals, I want to see every game. I want to. But what my need is, like, I need to have, some time with you just so, doing something that I like to do that we can do together. I need that. I want to bond with you on that level. I want to watch this football, or basketball rather, but I need you to say, can you kind of join me in one of my activities I like to do, whether it's basketball, whether it's going to movies or going to a play, whatever have you. I want to spend that time with you like that. Yeah. To me, I feel more connected whenever we have times like that.
Yeah. I think that the need versus want is a really important conversation, and it starts with being honest with yourself. It starts with saying to you, what do I really want? Like, what do I really need in this? And being able to have those back and forth. Like, do I need time alone? Do I need time with you? Do we need time in a getaway? What do I mean when I say I want to go somewhere? Like, are we talking about a staycation? Or are we talking about, hey, we got to leave the country? Being able to have that, because you say all the time, message sent is not necessarily message received.
Man, that's the realest thing. I heard that from an older gentleman. He was just talking like, The message sent doesn't mean message received.
You're listening to Fused with Tristan and Michael.